Sir Jeff Hurst, the Trevor Brooking and Billy Bonds, Paolo Di Canio, West Ham United. We celebrate our victories, we stick together in defeat. Proud of our history, West Ham United, more than just a podcast. More than just a podcast.
Good evening, good afternoon, or good morning. This is More Than Just a Podcast. Season 12, episode 51, and the hits keep on rolling.
Yay.
Episode 50 was recorded just a few minutes ago for us, but we're going to release that tonight, which is Monday night, and this episode will be Tuesdays. But anyway, less of the mechanics of that. It's question time. We've lost George. We had no John to begin with, but we've got Len and Chefman. Where are you? What you doing, Chefman?
I'm in my shed.
You've already done it a few minutes ago. Len, where are you? What are you doing?
I'm in the lounge. I'm still tired.
Yeah.
There's
like
no point in you saying this comes out on fucking Tuesday.
Yeah,
I
I
know the
know.
night's
People are
sleep.
going, well, this is disrespectful. Anyway, it's time for this. Let's put to a little question time where you, the 9 listeners, get to ask us, the 3 presenters. Well, you don't ask us. You just say stuff. And I tell you what, it could be a long one tonight because Chefman put it up like hours ago, and we've probably got about 45. Just a point of housekeeping. At some point, I do have to collect my missus from the station in the Tesla, and I'm also looking after stepchildren. I've got to make sure that one of them is doing their homework at some point, and obviously going to bed. But apart from that, I'm here for the long haul. Nigel.
Yay.
So
I did ask a question earlier
on
on Facebook, but today we'll start with Twitter.
Wow.
Old Adam Lever Wheelbarrow was fast out the blocks this morning. He says, Hi, chat. He says, after last week's Len having a right go at him for not asking a question. He's actually asked a question.
It better not be rhetorical.
Well, what he's asked was, as I'm sure you know, was the club right to stick with Moyes? And
that's rhetorical.
Boom. At the right time.
Well, we never know if he was right to stick with Moyes because for every action being a reaction, we don't know what the new guy would have done. But what you need to ask, Adam, is, was Sullivan right to not make a decision or to not be non-reactive? Because that's the only thing we can answer, really. Do you understand my point? Because you don't know, and the new guy would have done. So you don't think you can't say it was right to stick with Moyes because you don't know who would have got, how that would have affected everything. So there's always you got to sort of kind of are you happy with Sullivan not making a decision, not wanting to change things? That's the only question you got to ask yourself.
Yes,
I'm not because of the fact that I judged him on the transition that he didn't make. So technically, for not doing his job for a year and underperforming for a year, anyone else would have got fired in any job. So I don't think it was right to keep him. However, keeping your managers...
how did it work out for Southampton and Everton?
No, we don't give a fuck about them. You keep doing this, Sean. Now I forgot what I was going to say. There's going to be benefits of having a long-term manager, keeping the manager in situ. We know that, and we're a team that does that. And although I want to be a team that is known for that, the truth of the matter is football's not like that anymore. And that phrase, football's not like that anymore, is why we left Upton Park in the first place. So that's another thing you can get. Are you still happy with Sullivan? So I'm not liking these comments on social media trying to dig out the people who are anti-Moyes. There's a very clear reason why they're anti-Moyes. Very clear reason. So don't dig at them now because they're winning. I don't know what type of. I'm not saying Adam's like that, by the way. But I don't know what type of fan does that. Their first reaction after good form is not to be happy for themselves and the fans that fucking are long suffering. They want to dig at people who wanted Moyes out. Well, you know why he wanted Moyes out. So, but I'm waiting for Sean to defend Sullivan's decision. So whenever you're ready, Sean, let's hear the ridicule.
So I would say, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Right? It was a gamble without not changing manager. Right? We live in this.
He never takes a gamble, though, does he?
Hang on.
He'll take a gamble when this comes to changing the ground. He'll take that kind of gamble, but not one to fucking make cheery football.
All right, you told me off for interrupting you.
All right, well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. Right? You could be looked at that you're being inefficient and nervous, rabbit in the headlights. But whatever, it seems to have got it right. Did he get lucky? I don't know. But ultimately, what did Leicester? They might get away with it. Thank Brendan Rodgers to put in Dean Smith, right? Where are Southampton now? What good did it do them? What good did it do Everton? What good did it do bloody Chelsea? They've got rid of 2 managers. So this constant pressure just to sack the manager. But
that's how it is. That's why it's done now.
Let's take David Sullivan out of this. What would have happened with John Lyall if we'd have done that every time? Why do we have to fulfill that every time social media or fans say, get him out, get him out, get him out? He doesn't become a bad manager all of a sudden. And you could agree that the football we saw on Sunday was attractive football. It was counter attacking football, and it was good to watch. He's the same manager, and I don't get all this bullshit of, they're not playing his tactics anymore, they're playing the way they want to. So, you live and die by your results, including David Sullivan and the board. And let's not just make it about David Sullivan, because the board have a say. Even though he's got the majority shares, he's not majority shareholder. He has to do what the whole board say. So I think he was brave to stick, right? And I think it's paid off for him. So well done, David Sullivan. Brave decision.
Fucking hell. Brady first half, second half Sullivan. Job done, Sean. I've got a funny feeling you're going to win another ballot. Fucking hell.
Nigel, go on. Bring some middle of the road to this question.
Yeah, I think we were right to not. Well, I was never championing him getting rid of him anyway. I don't believe in sacking managers during the season. In a way, I don't. What failure for a West Ham manager is not finishing outside of the top 10. It's getting relegated. So until that had actually happened, and people could say, "Oh, you're gambling with the future of the club or whatever." But I mean, the times we dropped into the bottom 3 were weeks when we didn't play games a lot of the time. We've not spent that long in there. As regards to Sullivan's not brave enough to sack managers, well, as an owner, he's done that more than most owners have done, and he's done it during the season more than any other ownership the club's ever had. Which I get is no big shake in a way that we've only had 17 full-time managers. I think only 3 of them have been sacked during the season, which would be Pardew. Pardew was sacked during the season. Obviously, Pellegrini and Bilic. I don't know. Kirbishley sort of resigned, didn't he?
Yeah.
So that's a borderline one. So I must admit though, as much as I find it distasteful, the Moyes out people, obviously after a defeat, chomping at the bit to get out there. I find it a bit distasteful. The Moyes in people chomping at the bit to bait people. As well, because at the end of the day, we could still get relegated if we lose every game. Which and as much as I don't think we will, anything's possible. Yeah, we could lose to Liverpool, we could lose to Palace. it's a good chance he has done enough, because I think he only needs probably 2 points to stay up, so he'll get it. But let's see what
But
points
actually,
tally
if
we
the
get.
supercomputer's right, we don't
Oh,
need any
fuck off with
points.
the supercomputer. You know, you just look at it, and you're looking at Everton and that down there with 28 points, and I look at it and I think, well, are they getting another 10 points? Well, they're not, are they? So, you know, 3 or 4 points is enough to probably keep us up. Does that make it a great season? If you don't, and this is the funny thing is, if you don't win the conference, even if it takes us to the final and loses, but then finishes like 16th or 17th, it's not been a great season. The only thing that makes this a great season is winning that trophy.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That is it. Apart from that, it's not been a great. We got to admit the football weren't great. Something happened, and funny enough, the bad run coincides with the first lot of Europe finishing. So if you look, we finished with the win over FCSB, Steaua Bucharest, and then we went on a losing streak. And this winning streak, not winning streak, but the uplift in the seasons actually come when we've been playing European football. So it's a bit bonkers, because normally people sit there. But at the end of the day, if we finish 13th, get to the final European competition and win it, you know, I can't see what else.
I can't see him sacking him if we win the.
I can't see it either.
Not that I can't see him sacking him. I said last week, well, is there a future for Moyes at this club? I don't think there is. You know, apparently there was someone. I don't know if it was tongue in cheek. I believe it is. I've been told the name of the person who sang it, but people started laughing after Declan Rice. He started singing "One More Year, David Moyes." So you know.
But you know what, right? You say that, but right, let me just give you a bit of fancy land, right? We play the third year of Europa League.
Yeah, first time in the club's history.
Right?
Yeah.
And this time, we don't just get to the semi-final. We go all the way. We become European specialists. We go all the way. We win Europa League.
Yeah.
And we get a Champions League spot.
Then he has to stay.
Yeah, exactly. Right?
It is a brave thing. If he manages to do that, he then possibly elevates himself as to the greatest West Ham manager.
Wow, that is something you're saying there. And I'm sure...
but that's a big fanciful thing. Well, you say that because
I actually got a bit of heartburn
to win the Europa League,
reflux,
and the quality of the teams that are in the Europa League. To do that off the back of that that'll be. Right. I don't think it'll happen, Sean.
No, but you say that. But we
got
look,
in the I'll tell you what. Hold up, Sean.
Of Europa,
last year's semi-finalists, to this year's. This year's almost like a rerun of the Champions League from a few years ago. Yeah. Juve's, Roma's, Leverkusen, Seville.
Man United.
That ain't the Rangers, West
Seville,
Ham, Frankfurt. No, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that the quality of the competition this year,
is better.
I think, is
although,
better.
As I say, Seville beat Man United, who we beat in the competition. So Seville was our big test, you know. And Frankfurt was a big test, you could say.
I think Lyon was
a big test as well. You're right.
To get past Seville, though, I think I saw Seville in the last 7 or 8 years have been in the quarterfinals 6 times, I think, and 5 times have gone through into the semis. And there you think, well, one of the years they didn't do it because they got knocked out in the round of 16 by West Ham.
Well, our coefficient points are really racking up now, you know.
Oh, look, no,
and that's important, you know, the coefficient points.
Yes, it is. It's important. It is important if you want to play European football next year.
Yeah.
If we can go into it, 3 years running. It's what was it? It's Saturday. We didn't cover it in the first podcast because Sean was rushing through, but it was 200 games of David Moyes.
Yeah.
And, It's a weird thing. I think only 5 or 6 managers have managed that in the past. None since Harry Redknapp. And the fact that Moyes has managed 200 games probably speaks for itself in this day and age, that he actually has probably done well at West Ham.
Anyway,
It's a
have we
weird
actually
thing
got
with
past the
football.
first question yet? We're
Well,
still on
yeah,
that
but
first
it was
question.
a good question, though.
It was a
It was a
good
good question.
Well, when
We're
we
done with it.
phrased it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Shut up and let
let's
you do it.
let's move on to question
Let's move
number
on
2.
to another one, yeah? Because in Japan, Sean Loves Brady asks, they have used women's underwear vending machines.
Oh,
Now, he's got a
Sean.
question.
I
Is,
know
Sean,
that.
how much would you pay for Brady's?
Nothing. It's not my
Oh,
thing.
does she
I
give
think-
them to you for nothing?
No, it has to be a sort of fetish, and that's not one of my fetishes,
Oh,
unfortunately.
that's not, oh, you do have fetishes then, but that's not one
Not
of them.
those ones, no.
Oh, right, okay. Hot tubs is yours. isn't
Even you have a fetish, I'm sure.
it? No, I don't actually.
Yeah, well, not that you would admit to.
No, I don't. Next up is Dan 31 60 43 44.
Ray.
Moyes out, banner for sale. One careful owner, good as
Yeah,
new.
you haven't seen
Only
that
been
lately, have
used
we?
at 2 games. He says serious offers, please, only though, because I don't want no flip floppers. Very droll, maybe.
Yeah, well done.
Dan. But Mark Reaper.
It could turn up at the Palace game. You never know.
It could do. Perhaps they'll take it every game and just keep it under the chair. Mark Reaper on Twitter as well, or we call Kevin, says after years of avoiding senior sources lawyer, Estelle instructed lawyers to end the pod in response to Len's slurs. Moyes in 5-year deal. Here we go.
So I'll say that question again. I think I fell asleep in the middle of it, to be honest. But
It says, after years of avoiding the senior sources lawyer, Estelle instructed his lawyers to end the pod in response to Len's slurs. Moyes in 5-year deal. Here we go. Do you know what he's talking about?
What is he talking
I
about?
know the Stell bit, but I don't understand the lawyer bit from the senior source.
Well, obviously, us slandering the senior source is not ever called the lawyers in, but we'll
Oh,
still call the
right,
lawyers in.
okay.
Yeah, because you think he plays Roxanne.
Well, you didn't deny it. That's what makes it. So that, to me,
Oh,
that means he's
I've got
guilty
it.
because I know what you like. So you did it really. I'm just the messenger.
Oh, right, okay.
No, I don't
You
think it's-
said
no.
someone had a situation abroad to a prostitute. Right. You said it on the podcast.
I'm
And
neither
it could have
here
only
to
been
deny
2
or
people.
confirm.
You-
People.
and as you venomously deny it's not Doddsy,
Well, I have
you
to
won't
venomously
do the
deny
same
it's
for
not
Stell.
Doddsy, because the poor bloke's innocent of charges, and as fun as it was to watch him squirm, I didn't want to get in trouble with his missus.
Wow.
And the fact Stell said nothing obviously shows he's not listening.
There
Yeah.
you go.
There you go.
He'll be him.
So we're going to cross over now by the wonders of technology.
I'm just going to go. I'll let you answer this one. I'm just going to check on my stepdaughter, make sure she's finished her own work. Right, I'll be back in 1.
Yeah, you're right, killjoy, you, aren't you?
Yeah, I know.
So I did ask a question, believe it or
Right.
not, for a change. I put, would you swap seasons with Spurs as is now? We would be 5th, just, and
Yeah.
they would be 13th, but in the semi-final. What are
The
you
momentum's
choosing?
with us, isn't it? We've got something to look forward to, and they don't want to look forward. Oh, I thought, yeah, it's a.
So what would you want?
Well, if we want to keep Declan, then we was in 5th place in Spurs' position, and we had the turn of events that we had now. Then you might want to think about the Spurs thing, or think longer term and see what that's done for them keeping Kane. Or you can keep it very West Ham. Be about the cups, the piss taking, and the Saturdays,
Yeah,
and then you're happy.
yeah.
And this is what I've always gone for. So, no, I wouldn't change it to be like Spurs now. I want to be like what we are. I don't mind having a moan now and again. But at the end of the day, you know, you like what you like. And I think that's coming. I think he's coming.
Yeah, I personally, I wouldn't want to swap positions at the moment
No,
with anyone. To be fair,
No.
well, maybe Man City,
no.
but
We're running in our own lane, aren't we? Do you know what I mean?
yeah, there's a bit of me though. Sometimes I think I don't know. Do you know what? If we were like Man City, and
Yeah.
I'd find that. I think I'd find that a bit boring.
Yeah. Well, we never find out, but you know.
Well, I know it's funny. I hope we don't. I'm not sure.
Well,
You know,
no.
lack of ambition can
Early
be thrown
days.
at me again, maybe.
Yeah.
But that's
You
the
got-
way.
Yeah. Be patient. I mean, our club's only been going for 6.5 years, Nige.
That's true. Yeah. So still early days yet, isn't it? Someone had a go at me for saying that the other week.
Did they?
Yeah. Oh, fuck it. I'll just ignore him. First up is Mr. MLJ, the soul singing superstar of Tenerife. Check him out. The Calypso Bar on a Saturday afternoon, the Soul Suite, I think, on a Friday, and there's a couple of other places. If you're up to Tenerife, there's a Tenerife Night Out app. There's a Tenerife page on Facebook, people. Check it out. You'll see him on there. And when I say he is a real award winner as well. After that build-up, he says, no, I wouldn't swap with Spurs because we've got a chance of a trophy in our grasp.
Yep.
He wants to congratulate you, Len, on
Oh, thank you
another
very much.
masterpiece. I mean, all of his talent, he says, yours, that is not Fornell's. He wanted to say how good the away fans are, week in, week out, first class. But he does have a question.
Go on.
He said, what is your Conference League final 11 if the big game was tomorrow?
Oh, wow. It's a tough question because obviously I'd like to change, and I'd like to change Souček for either Fornals or the boy Downs. But then again, you know, who am I to say it when we, you know, I've got a funny feeling if we got to the final, I think Souček might get the fucking win. It would be just, do you know
And
what I
you
mean?
got to paint him.
I've got to paint in orange. In orange.
I thought you'd done well, actually. That's the
Yeah,
one.
yeah, that was what it was all.
I thought that was a tester.
Yeah,
You
it was
know,
a
I saw that, I
tester.
thought, whoa.
Yeah, it was a test. I was having a practice.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
everyone would have thought I would have done the kick, the scorpion kick in the air before.
Yeah.
No, I've got to work out a way to get that orange out of the painting.
Mm.
And I did it. I thought I'd put a bit of light blue and purple into it. I thought that worked.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, it was a
No, it did work.
practice. Everyone's talking about the speed, but it took 12 hours, and that's not fast, really, for small painting.
No. No wonder he cut his ear off if it took him that long to paint.
Who cut his ear off? Len?
Van Gogh.
No,
Oh. Didn't know him.
was similar. He could do done his.
He
a bit
played up
quick-
front with Ajax.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
Done his a lot quicker.
Dutch, was he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you reckon?
on the border of Belgium,
Yeah.
he lived. Yeah,
Oh.
first of all,
Painted sunflowers, is that the guy?
yeah,
I know him.
which was a gift to decorate Gauguin's room at the Yellow House.
There you go, a little bit of art history. How art market are we tonight?
It's the sequence of them he's got. He painted one of them took about 6 hours each.
Yeah. Anyway, it's not an art history podcast.
Yeah. His cousin was one of the first car dealers.
Is that true?
Yeah, Will Van Eyre.
Good jokes as well. Art history and jokes.
Oh, next up, it's Matt. Well, I've got a question for you, Sean, quickly,
Go
because
on.
I asked it, so you can answer it.
Yeah.
So I did ask the listeners a question. Would you swap Spurs season, as is now, so they're
Yeah.
sitting a bit like all for what we've done? So Spurs would be 13th, but in the semi-final, we'd be sitting 5th, just beat 6-1 by Newcastle.
That's a difficult one. And the reason I think it's difficult is, you know,
Money.
well, not just money, because you do get a lot more money for finishing 5th.
Do
but you'd
you
also-
think Cameron Brady would swap?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
So So you would get Europa League, sorry. So you get Europa League without winning the
Well, hold up,
Europa Conference
son.
League.
What I'm saying
However,
is, yeah,
you
this ain't.
deprive us of cup. So ask me that question after the semi-final because
Well, this is
Right
the
now.
thing.
now
Right now,
I
I'm saying
wouldn't
as
take
in
it.
now. But what you got to remember is, yeah, while they may be fifth, yeah, I lay you money, they don't even finish top 6.
Yeah, I think I make you right, and I had a great day. I had a really great day taking the piss. I mean, all the memes that are out there with. I've just sent you another one on WhatsApp around Arsenal. The whole emergency alert. I'm sure you got a few of them. There were about 3 of them going around, and then the video of the Spurs fans leaving the ground after 20 minutes, and all the other jokes. I mean, my favourite one was actually just I think it was just a screenshot of the results for that day, West Ham and Spurs, and it simply said, "If Carlsberg did football results." Simple but effective, you know. It was a great Sunday.
Would you, if you've drove all the way to Newcastle,
Yeah,
which is an
it's a
actual
long
longer
way.
drive than you are, than it is for me. Not
Yeah.
that much, but still, it's a good 4.5 hour.
I wouldn't leave after 20 minutes. That's just a bit
Would
harsh.
you walk out
No.
5-0 down?
No. I might walk out half time. I've got a sort of a half time rule that if we're like being tonked by 5-0, then I have permission to go home, but not after 20 minutes.
Oh, right, okay.
And that's not just my rule. That's John's rule. It's a John, myself, John, and
Well, your rule's if you're 3 down, isn't it?
yeah, our rule is if you're 3-0 down.
Well, you'd have only seen 15 minutes in.
No, you leave at half time. So if you're 3-0 down at half
What
time,
about 5-0 down at 21 minutes?
you still have to. So here's the thing: has to be 3-0. You haven't conceded it.
Oh,
right?
God.
3-0. The rules are: so if it's 3-1, no. If it's 4-1, no. 3-0 down, half time, you can leave or above. 4-0, 5-0, 6-0.
It was
7-0.
5-0, wasn't it, at half time?
It was. So
Yeah.
we could have gone at half time. But again, this is really a rule for home, not away from home when you travel all the way up to
As I
Newcastle.
said to our Spurs, mate, at least you got a point in the second half.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, come on. This is. I mean, it's great. I mean, Spurs. Arsenal now bottling it with 3 draws in a row. Spurs completely going off the rails, and Chelsea too, and of course also Liverpool. I mean, the only bad thing about this is I have to put up with bloody Newcastle fans, and I've got one of them who works for me.
Oh yeah, your security guard.
Yeah, my security guard, Dave.
Dave.
Oh, and he gives every morning. I just try and, sort of get past him and get him to the lift before he can see me, because he's going to tell me how wonderful Newcastle.
Well, all
and
you
how
got to
they're gonna
do
take
is
the
just
Champions
tell
League
him
by storm.
that in
next year.
5 years' time, everybody be the sick of the sight of you lot and hope you get fucking down, and we'll all be supporting Sunderland. That's all you got to tell him. Yeah.
Oh no, they've already won the Champions League. They're going, you watch us
Yeah.
next year. We're going to win the Champions League. Oh yeah, all right.
Right. Matty Kemp, anyway, has asked the question, Spandau Ballet's roadie. He's asked as well, was Sullen been vindicated by sticking with Moyes?
Yep.
He said, do you think the club would move in a different direction post the end of the season? You've heard what we said, but what he said was, if we were going to change, who would you appoint? You got anyone in mind?
No, not really. It's not my job. That's Sullivan's job that he refuses to do.
I'll tell you who they do like. I can't remember his name. The Fenny Batch Fenord manager. What's his name? Arnie Slot.
Arnie Slot.
Arnie Slot. Or Arnslot. Arnslot is...
Arnie Slots. I used to play him in Blackpool.
Arnslot is very much admired by certain senior sources.
Oh, right.
He's a Dutch professional football coach and former player.
Oh,
Well, who did he play for? He's only 44, by the way.
Never heard of him.
You've heard of him, Nigel, haven't you?
I know he's the manager of Fenerbahce.
Yeah.
Why would you want the Fenerbahce manager? I
Not
don't understand.
Fenerbahce, Feyenoord. Sorry. That's
Oh,
me
okay.
listening to
Yeah, I've
him.
heard this.
Sorry.
Feyenoord, yeah.
Feyenoord, who I believe are top of the table at the
They
moment.
are.
So is he going to leave Champions League for us?
You know who he managed before that?
Yes.
Who?
No.
RZ.
Yes, correct. Yeah. So
Still sounds like a man who doesn't know what he's doing, Sutherland, I'm afraid.
all right, well, I'm just saying what I hear. But word on the street is, well, I say word on the street, Jim White, and I haven't heard this, but apparently those people who talk to David Sullivan, he's sick of answering questions about the manager, and he's told everybody that he will make no more comments on the manager situation
until
long. The end of the season when he does his review.
Right, okay. Well,
all these people asking him every 5 minutes, "You're going to sack the manager? How many more games he got?"
Yeah.
All these people.
Oh, yeah. These people. Anyway, next up, it's the Greek goddess of Forest Gate, Upton Lane's favourite, Belinda Keatis.
Belinda.
Hello, Matty peeps. Or good evening, peeps, she says. I didn't actually think there was a bigger shit show than us, she says. She don't say that. She just puts the emoji. She says, but Spurs have proved there is. I think they've just sacked the replacement of Conte. They have.
They have.
Which is quite laughable because they got rid of Conte and allowed his assistant to say, who's been Conte's assistant for years, and expected the fans to be happy that they've just continued with the bloke that the fans wanted out anyway. While they agreed with what he said, they didn't like his football. And they put his reserve in place, who just showed how even worse it was. Roll on, roll on, roll on. She does say, I'd rather be in a semi, ain't we all, Bill, than doing okay in the league for this season than being chaos. I'm feeling like things are coming together, but it don't mean I don't think we shouldn't move on from Moyes, but we can hopefully move on from him with thanks. Ooh, Bill sticking to the guns. Moyes
Good
out.
on you, Belinda.
Wednesday, as you know, will be my most dated fixture. Oh, yes, Liverpool are in town. Mr. K will be with me, not me, Mr. Keatis, sitting on his hands, glaring if we score. So, of course, I'm hoping for another 4-score line.
You're going to watch the game, Nigel? You're armchair fan?
Yes, I'm going to watch the game. Yep.
Armchair fan.
There you go. 4 kisses. 2 each for me and Len.
Thank you very much.
Well, you done with your ticket? Is Charlie going?
No. That's why I'm not going, because he's at work.
All right.
That's why we're going Tuesday.
You should sell your tickets then.
I may do
Ticket
that.
exchange.
Thank you very much for that. I'll do what I like with my ticket.
Don't stop,
Len, tell him the story. Yeah. Tell him your story you told us. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it is a bit funny. So I was in a bit of a tired haze this morning, being like painting till 4 o'clock, and a mate of mine was telling me about the ticket situation. The hours there, my game, whether I was going this or that, and I thought I'd look it up to know what I was talking about on the West Ham ticket website. And I thought to myself, I'm probably not going to be able to go to the Liverpool game, right? And I was running through like all the arrangements in ways about where to do Wednesday. And for no reason and other than complete tiredness, I put my Liverpool ticket on the ticket exchange. And I don't even use the ticket exchange. And it's sold in a couple of minutes.
To a Liverpool fan, most likely.
Well, that's why I'm not too keen on going, because usually I have one standing next to me, and they're bringing the shit stewards that night, and I've failed to believe it's all a coincidence. Actually, I just think
what are the shit stewards?
It's a shit steward. No, it's a complete shit show of a fixture that, because it's always in the evening, right? And suddenly, for the Liverpool game, the steward you got isn't your usual steward. and the stewards that night don't do anything, and the place, our section, which is around the 132 area, right, it's fucking full of Liverpool fans, and they don't do anything. It's the biggest blind eye turned I've seen, and you're probably right. It probably has gone to a Liverpool fan, because it's like, oh, it's some kind of, they're just cashing on it in the club, and they know they're doing it, and it'll be the same Wednesday. You watch all the tweets come out saying, why are these Liverpool fans here? It's the same every time we play them.
There you go. Anyway, cool story, bro.
Yeah. Great. I'm losing my mind.
Yeah. Next up is Stevie Knockout Collins. Never forget that night, Steve. You showed Eubank what you was worth. He would not swap with Spurs. Absolutely. He said, but has Moyes redeemed himself and set his stall out for next season, or do we move on? It's all on the cup, Steve. It's all on the cup. Last round knockout. Next up, it's our favourite man from the 70s. It's Jason back to the house. Evening, gents, he said. We're finding the form that's deserted us for most of the season. It's good to see the team gel. He said, but on the downside, strengthens Moyes' grip on the job. He says, got a question. Why don't Antonio do his unique goal celebrations anymore? Because they're stupid, Jace. Is it because he's surprised when the ball hits the net these days? Oh, he says he misses his carpet stroking and raising of the cardboard cutout.
Oh, God.
Well,
modern football.
Yeah. Perhaps he's just...
My favourite is the old Stuart Pearson fist pump. Can't beat that. Classic.
Well, I did put I don't think there was a great video today from Norwich, like history.
I saw
Twitter.
it. You said that I didn't see. You said think it was crossy because his two arms in the air.
Yeah, that's because he used to do that.
Yeah, he did do that. Yeah.
So as the bloke, he don't shoot, but as the goal goes in over at Orient, he runs in with his two arms in the air. And then from the back, I'm thinking, well, obviously he didn't have a beard back then, but I don't think at Norwich, I should have looked it up. I'm pretty sure 72 he was at Norwich.
Yeah.
I think they got to the League Cup final in 73. So,
yeah.
Obviously, says Sean Cronin, he's never going to swap with Spuds. Silverware 1, Spuds 0. It says, thanks to the pod's ongoing endorsement, I went to see the soul singing superstars Tenerife last month. Listen, Levy puts on a show. Highly recommended if you're ever in his vicinity, even for the metalheads out there. Cheers, Brady out. There you go, Mike.
Brady out.
I hope you said hello to him, Sean. I do hope you said hello to him. Neil Eddie the Eagle Edwards. Evening, chaps. Football's about glory, so the chance of a European trophy far outweighs top 5 for me. Said we've had a great week though, and important wins are fun. Over the last 3 games, David Moyes, West Ham are back. Survival all but assured. European semi. If Moyes keeps this level of performance and results going, it's going to be hard to change the manager. The question is, do you think he can change the mind of enough fans between now and the end of the season so the board will feel empowered to keep Moyes in place for next year? Do you
is
think
it Moyes though, Sean, or is it the players?
Has been done.
Moyes. Well, I think it's all a bit. It's all a bit. By the way, you two didn't mention, I hope you know, and you just didn't mention it, that Spurs have sacked their manager this evening.
Yeah, we've mentioned it.
Yeah, we've done that.
Did you?
Oh. Yeah.
Didn't mention West Ham fan Len Goodman passing away today, did we?
We did do the 7.
Thank you.
Okay.
I would have liked to painted them, but I've run out of canvas. I ordered some more, and he said next day delivery. It's a lie. It's not coming till Wednesday.
You ever meet any of you two meet Len?
My mum lived in the same road as me.
He's down there.
Sorry?
He's in the supporters club every other week.
Was he?
We drink with him.
Len Goodman.
Oh, Goodman. Sorry.
You
just said Len.
I've just bought me a semi-final tickets.
Road.
I'm sure they've gone up, you know.
Funny, because I thought mine went down. by £4.
So my ticket, 34 quid. I thought it was 33 last time for band 3. Finley's was 12 quid, £2 booking fee, 48 quid for. That's not bad for 2 semi-final tickets, is it? Really, can't complain.
I think mine will be 30 quid.
For you two, no, don't forget your booking fee,
£32.
mate.
Yeah,
32 quid.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah, Brady out.
Brady out.
Says
Lived in the
Eddie
same road as my
Len
mum.
Goodman,
Len
rest
Goodman.
in peace.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't get to it now.
Adam Levitt says, Sean, we've got you banned from Surrey Hammers. You can.
How many people belong to Surrey Hammers?
He said you can go and join a new county now.
Who runs? Who's the chairman of Surrey Hammers, and how many members they got?
They got a few. They like me and Len.
Is that based in Guildford?
Round Dorking Way and round there, I think.
Really?
They do meet up. Yeah.
I've not. I want to know a little bit more about this.
Andrew Hall. He's
I thought they need to be inclusive, don't they?
Yeah. They can be inclusive. What I think idiots have been covered though.
So they're being inclusive, except for me, who lives in Surrey all of his life.
Yeah.
Now Fareham Hammer, I'd expect it for, or Guildford Hammer, yeah, but I don't know.
Well, Fareham's in Hampshire, isn't
it? You're right. Fareham is in Hampshire. I'm thinking of Farnborough, aren't I? Which is also
in Hampshire. Yeah. Well,
good point, well made.
Go and look up other towns beginning with F in Surrey and come back to me. Well, Lewis Allen says, evening, gents. Hope you will. We could be in the conference, and I'd never swap with Spurs. The fact their season is over, we're in up for a trophy in Europe. 2 seasons in a row makes it easier to say. Come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons.
My good mucker, Uncle Ted Sexton, Dave's son's back. Stay for West Ham, obviously, for me. 4-0's looking to replace Benny. His finishing is atrocious. It is, to be fair to Ben Rama, he got his shots on target, but he hit the goalkeeper every shot, straight down the keeper's throat.
He's starting to wind me up, actually.
Yeah. Who is Benny?
Yeah, he plays
really?
a lot. You know, yeah. I'm not a fanboy and I'm not a boo boy. I'd like the fact that he's forward thinking.
Yeah, I like his momentum going forward. Yeah. He can't fucking cross, and his shooting's getting bad now.
Yes, yeah. Ted continues. He says he thinks we're safe. Points from next 2 games will be suffice, and he says he wants to give his congratulations to Len for the 4-0 painting.
Oh, did you just scorpion kick painting?
No, I didn't do that. What I did, Sean, as a practice for the cup game, I wanted to do a composition without the orange in, which would have been impossible to do with a scorpion kick. If I'd done the scorpion kick, I would have just been doing it for the money.
Can you do it and ignore the orange and just paint them in all white?
Yeah, I could paint them in colour and blue if I wanted.
Because if you look at that scorpion kick, right?
Yeah.
There's no orange on the back of the shirt.
No, but he's got orange shorts on.
Can't we just paint them in white?
How far do you go? Do you know what I mean?
Well, you might as well just paint them in
colour. It wouldn't have been a great. Well. It wouldn't have been a great.
Talking of that, did like your little trial of the cup, the Europa Conference League Cup, ready to be put in someone's hands?
Yeah, I had a little practice, didn't I? That's right. I forgot about that. I'm forgetting a lot of things lately. Thank you very much. I can send it to you if you want it, Sean. If you want it. That painting. Still on the board.
Yeah, but you want to wait, don't you? Aren't you going to fill it in?
Well, that was just a practice. I ain't got enough room to fill. You know, it's not.
Wait till we win it, mate.
When we win it, I'm going to paint all of them.
I thought you were short of canvas.
That's what I mean. I'm not going to reuse it. It's coming,
Van Gogh would recycle his canvas.
Yeah, he would, yeah. Okay. Yeah, he would. But,
bit of emulsion over the top of it, put a new picture on it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Adam's
Tricky
back,
paint
and he's got a good question.
Oh, do we allow 2 questions from one
Yes,
person?
I do, especially for Adam. Why does West Ham badges have to be taken off the carpet on European nights? Now, I know the answer to this, Adam. It's from UEFA,
It is, yeah.
who
I asked that
thinks that
question.
actually it gets in the way of their sponsors on the boards. The eyes can focus on this is true, that they don't like anything around pitch side, because when you may not know this, but it's UEFA sponsors that go on the screens, the digital screens, not West Ham sponsors.
Yeah.
So everything's organised by UEFA on a UEFA night, and that is why the Academy of Football has to be covered up, the cross dammers is covered up, and behind the goals, the badges are covered up.
Is the rules? You still can't drink beer on European nights, can you?
Well, we did
in your seats, because lots of
We
people, I
can't,
tell you,
can we?
were drinking them on Thursday
Yeah.
night. Either the stewarding wasn't
I
very good,
wish
but lots
they'd
of
ban
people.
fucking night shows and European nights.
You didn't
Yeah,
like the
they're a
light
bit
show.
stupid.
I fucking hate them.
No,
Periphery, Sean. Don't need
it's
to
a
It
waste
was a
of
light show
money.
when it was still light. It didn't quite work.
I don't like the fact they come out, shake hands, and do all that. You don't need this.
No,
Walk out on the
it's
pitch and play
fucking bullshit.
fucking
Just get
football.
on with the fucking football.
Oh dear, oh dear. Mr. Paul Noland, chauffeur here. Beep, beep. He says, to answer your question regarding Spurs, I'd never, ever swap with Spurs. But what a successful week it's been for us. 10 goal scores. Have we found the form at the right time with a question mark? Will
Yes.
we hit Nigel Khan points total?
Nah.
He says with a yawn, I missed my second game in as many weeks on Thursday. I know you was away working, so we'll let you off. I feared for the worst as I got on the plane. We were losing 1-0, but got off on 4-1. The stress of the flight was unbelievable.
Really?
Not knowing how we got on. So the question is, should I miss more games? No, mate. They didn't do it just for you. All that superstition, it's all bollocks, mate. According to my daughter and the people I sit around, I should. Don't listen to them, mate. I want to thank Grant Croxford, the old boy sister amateur, for looking after my daughter and of all the other fans as well. He says it's what makes West Ham special. Brady out, Sullivan out, but Moyes half in and half out.
Moyes out.
Oh, and he
Brady
said, I
out.
forgot to ask how many people have applied for something. So I don't know what that is, because we're not talking about it, Paul.
No.
Father Chris Kinch.
Hello, Father
A
Chris.
marathon runner himself.
Yeah.
Wouldn't want to swap seasons with Spurs. As our season's been with more chance of a trophy, and we look safe enough now.
Yeah.
Spurs season is over.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're still giving us fun.
Yeah.
As I
Time
told
to
the boys
enjoy ourselves, people.
at work in the WhatsApp group, there's nothing worse than an arrogant cockney strolling into work when all the other boys haven't won.
He's
Oh,
not
I
wrong
do
there.
that arrogant cockney so well.
You do.
Even when we lose, I can be an arrogant cockney. Barry Meikle, one of my favourite Canadians. And they've got their special US Twitter account as well from West Ham. It's
And they're
like,
awful.
oh, my life.
You
Did-
don't
I
like
don't
that,
know
do
if-
you, Nigel?
Did you see though? I don't know, because I thought I thought he actually earned his Spurs the other day. At first I thought, what another twat are they? What we got here? And then he tweeted out to the North Americans, put the Canadian flag in, where you're watching the game from, people in Canada and US, and then listed all these cities, and not one of them was in Canada.
Do you think it's from over here or that it's an American?
That's a good point. I'm guessing it's over there.
Do you reckon?
I don't know.
Have you caught up
Are
with
they
Ted
using
Lasso
Zs
yet
or S's?
now?
No, I've not watched Ted Lasso. No.
You need to watch it.
I think that's why they've done it. I think they're
Yeah.
trying. I think they're going to really
Well, I was
try
about
and-
to say that. The whole
Yeah.
the brand recognition has grown in USA, and I
Yeah.
think that's why they've launched it, to try and on the back of that
Well, yeah.
brand
Anyway,
awareness.
I'll tell you what I'd like to know is I'd like to hear from the American listeners to tell me what
You
you
could have
think.
asked David.
Well,
He's
because
biased.
Dave's quite sensible. He'll think it's a prick. Whoever's running.
But it's not people who are already West Ham. You've got to ask an American who watches Ted Lasso that doesn't really. He's
No,
not a
Ted
West Ham
Lasso's
fan.
got nothing to do with it, Sean. You can't bring Ted Lasso in.
Yeah, you can.
No, you can't. That's a fucking third party.
But are we not talking about why they've launched the new?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
US.
And
thing.
that's what I think.
But
it's
they've
solely
done
around
the
Ted Lasso
Portuguese
thing.
one as well. And they don't. People saying, is this Brazilian Portuguese or Portuguese?
Is it
sorry.
Jorge Lasso? Is it? Is there a new TV
Oh,
program?
you
in that?
did. I swear you got a laminate there with Ted Lasso, Tesla's, Brady, Sullivan, and you just tick them off every podcast.
SpaceX.
We need to play Whetstone Bingo, don't we?
Oh, I'm sure you
Yeah.
saw the Starship take off the other day and blow up.
No, I tuned into the one where they called it off with a minute to go.
Oh no! You had to watch the other one.
No,
You know, I
the
forgot to
biggest
watch that.
spaceship ever took off, and
Did it go up in
was
the
up
air?
for 2 minutes. It was about to separate, and it just blew up.
Oh, did it?
They're
Oh,
going to
missed
go
it.
to Mars. Elon Musk is going to Mars.
Well, he can't even get out the atmosphere at the moment. He's a long way from Mars, isn't he?
Oof.
Anyway,
In Musk we trust.
Barry from Canada has got a question for you.
Right, I'm ready.
Following Kufau's long throw ability
Kufau.
seemingly only being unlocked last week, like some video game achievement, has anyone
He's
else
drunk.
noticed how he can't cross a ball to save his life? The one in midweek was so badly he missed it, the defender fell over and gave a penalty away. He had some shockers on Sunday, but I will give him the one for Paqueta's goal, but it looked like he overhit it. I don't know what the question is there, though. Questions for you?
Yes.
Oh. Have we noticed anybody else with a new talent, I'm guessing, being unlocked? No.
Stell.
I haven't
Ladies
noticed
of the
his
Night.
talent. He's another improved player, though, Kufau.
Yeah, he has. He's doing well.
Because
Cheeky lines.
Go on.
Evening, lads. He says, hope you well. He says, I'm referring back to last week's pod and the dogging man having a pop at you, Nigel, for being a couple of minutes late. Yet when it comes to question time, he seems to do what he likes and disappears. He needs to have a word with himself. Yeah, to be fair, though, Steve, we like it when he disappears. As for your question, I read that very differently, as if it was to say, would you swap to be a Spurs fan? The answer is, I'd rather stick my genitals in a bee's nest. Well, no, that wasn't the question.
Let's have little
said-
genitals.
But then common sense kicked in and I reread it. My answer's still no, regardless of some of the dross that we've dished up this season. No one can say it's not been an exciting end to the season with us, hopefully, picking up the right kind of form to get us one step closer to that final without a full stop and running out of breath. I said, and we got an all right finish in the league. Something he's got a comment there. Something we as a fan base would all have taken at the start of the season. We're West Ham. We always do it the hard way. He's got a confession, he continues. A couple of Saturdays ago, I went to Reading, Burnley, and took my lad. It was kids for £1, and the offer was through his school. He said, it's the first time I've been to live football in years, and I have to say I really enjoyed it, and my lad said he wants to go again. I'm not sure I want to put West Ham on him as we're out of towners and Reading's our local club. Does that make me a shit dad and West Ham fan? No, of course it don't. Cheeks. Of course it don't.
Your live football experience doesn't have to be the
No.
same as your.
Get him over Reading.
Yeah.
Still impart the ways of the West Ham. Because at the moment, we're still doing infinitely better than Reading ever will be. So get him to enjoy it, mate. The best bit about it is you're going football with your boy, mate. If you're going to watch Reading or any other Hungerford town further up the road or Slough, take them to a game. Live football is how it should be, mate. Oh, he says, should I be never make him an hammer, but introduce it to him. He said, but he watched the game against Ghent and he enjoyed it. But as he said, I'd rather support Reading than some of the big clubs like his mates. He said he enjoys the pod. Thanks a lot. It does keep him going as deliveries. It says pretty dire. He said another one who says Pablo for Now's picture. Tops, even without the orange in it.
Thank you.
Is he
Especially without the
Is he
orange
the
in
Royal
it.
Mail guy?
Kretinsky, Sully, Brady out. Yep.
Oh, he doesn't like Kretinsky. He's a
No.
one, isn't he?
Did you see Kretinsky's buying wants to buy out French supermarket?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Oh, okay. Davy Jones. Oh,
He
Ziggy
already
Stardust.
owns quite a bit of it already.
Yes. Ziggy played guitar. Here you go, Bill.
Dave Jones.
Evening all, says Dave. Certainly a great time to hit and run a form. Wouldn't swap with Spurs. It wouldn't be West Ham if there wasn't a dice with relegation. I'm with you, Dave. It's good for the old soul. Every few years. This is a question. Given the sad news of West Ham fan Len Goodman going to the great dance floor in the sky, if you were on Strictly, what would be your favourite dance? Brady out.
Brady out. I like the tango.
Oh, fucking hell.
Oh, isn't it your
Fire.
answer?
What are you doing?
I think the women look extra hot doing the tango.
Yeah.
That comes from Badillos.
Buenos Aires.
Yeah.
Sean, you going to do a dance? You'd be tangoed.
Oh yeah, I like those. What is the context here? What dance?
Strictly come dancing. You're going on Strictly. You got to do a dance. What are you doing?
I don't know. I'm not a classical dance person. The foxtrot.
The foxtrot. There
Yeah,
you go.
why not?
If I can't do the tango, I think I'll do a fandango.
Can't see you dancing.
Who, me?
Yeah, I can see you dance as much as I can see you finishing the kitchen.
Well, I'm not known to bust a move, but
Not known to finish a kitchen either.
Well, no, but at a concert, you will generally find me down the front.
I've seen you dancing. I've got a video of you dancing.
Oh, what, the Madness one?
Yeah.
You've not seen the one of me at Johnny Market then?
I've got all kinds of videos for you.
Yeah, have you? There you go. Ding-a-ling. Stewie baby says, as all day long as we stay out, we're staying up, mate. Even if they're all mugging us off for being happy to be in the semi-final of the conference, wangers a lot. Brady out.
Brady out.
Jealous, mate. They're just jealous. Joe Cozell,
Three.
man with the Z, says, evening, gents.
Evening, Joe.
He says, and that's all I've got to say. But he does then continue. I'm loving the new look West Ham now as Moyes has been relieved of his duties as a manager and the players are in charge.
Just get rid of the orange shorts and we'll be fine.
Yeah. Keep believing it, Joe, as if that's the case. Bob's full house.
Might be true.
The Monk says, much better performance of late. Listening to the show last week, do I hear that a vegan may be getting converted?
Not quite true.
No.
If it's the other way around, isn't it?
Yes, no. Wouldn't swap our season for Spurs. Spurs used to laugh at Arsenal for finishing fourth all the time. Now it's seen as an achievement. I'd rather get relegated and win the Euro Conference and have a constant mid-table mediocrity. I'm with you, Bob. Football's about entertainment, not just surviving. It says it's Anzac Day here in Oz, and as an ex-UK squaddy off to service, lest we forget. God bless you, Bob, and thank you for your service. Good show as ever, Brady Ultz.
Brady out.
Oh, not good. Ex-squaddy off to Anzac Day. Anzac Day, people commemorate
Australia.
New
Australian.
Zealand.
Oh, and New Zealand.
Canada.
I didn't know Canada.
Yes, Anzac. It's where that.
Oh, right.
So Australia, New Zealand, Canada. It's Gallipoli, I believe.
Right, I see. It's an acronym.
So Anzac Day, I believe it's Gallipoli, and do you know what? I'm pretty sure my great granddad was on a troop carrying ship that had to ferry the Australians and the Anzacs to their death on Gallipoli Beach, and the story was that the sea was just red. It was that bad.
Fucking cheery.
So never forgive, never forget. Well, perhaps forgive the Turks. It's been 100 odd years, but never forget what happened there, and God bless them all. And the Pogues did a great cover of a song about that as well. Bicester Old Grant Coxford. He's from Bicester, people, in Oxfordshire, if you're wondering. And they do talk funny like that. Evening, chaps. How are you all doing today? Very polite. Great couple of results. What a time to start finding form. Everyone keeps saying that. Would I rather be fifth? Got the last 16 of the Champions League, own their own stadium and make 900 grand a game in said stadium? Yes, I would, he says.
However.
Oh, Grant. Questions. There was no however.
Really?
Yeah, dear, oh dear. Grant, we need to educate you, mate. That's
Grant's
not the
maybe a new fan.
answer.
Do you think?
I don't know, but if we're going to go back to tactics that made us successful, what's the point of buying Emerson Skamaka innings?
This is it. No transition. Well done,
What's
Grant.
the point of freezing 4-0 to the point he breaks down in tears up the score?
Absolutely. That's Moyes as well. Come on, hit me with a third or fourth, Grant.
Why bring Inns on instead of Cornet?
There you go, full house. That'd be
Yeah.
Moyes.
He comes in after Bob's full house. He said, by the way, if we win the Conference League,
Yeah.
Moyes has to be given another season because it would be harsh to sack him. He said he hopes a director of football will be brought in to control transfers, but realistically, it won't happen. Moyes out, PSA.
Moyes out.
Sullivan out, Brady out.
Everyone out.
Next up, it's the Reverend Jonathan Lowe, dearly beloved. I met his dad the other day. Very nice man. Very nice man. There's no way I'd swap anything with Tottenham, thank you very much. Said, but what a difference a week make, then it 3 performances in a row, plenty of goals, which of course are fun. Season's looking brighter. At the start of the season, I reckon most of us would have taken 13th for the European semi. Nigel's points prediction is still amazingly looking good. But I'll tell you what, John, I'm with you because, well, I was a bit further back when I said this, but the one downside of Thursday night and doing really well was this. West Ham are massive, has started again.
Yeah.
Give it a rest, people. It says, Nigel, I hope you could just about make out who the players were last Thursday. I'm sitting 4 rows further back. And then fabulous work on the Pablo painting. Keep up the good work. We got the blessings.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Jonathan.
How old's Jonathan? If you met his father,
I reckon Johnny Boy is early to mid-40s.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Funny. I imagined him sort of mid-50s. I don't know why.
Oh, right. No.
Just in my picture of him in his head. He's got
No,
glasses.
He definitely looks younger than me and you.
Glasses and dark hair. No?
No.
That's what I imagine him as. I don't
Have
know
you not
why.
met him?
No.
Oh, right. Well, come Man
I don't
United.
think I have.
All right. We'll have to sort that out, dear. Oh, dear, John. The old Colonel Sanders is up. Swap with Spurs? No, thanks, he says. I'm interested to know if our winning European Conference League might mean they miss out on Europe, or does it create an extra space?
I don't think so. Creates an extra one, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's an extra
Someone
one.
else asked this question.
Yeah. He says a silly question, but I've always wondered, is the Claret and Blue Army chant, we are West Ham's Claret and Blue Army? Oh, we are West Ham, Claret and Blue Army, or is it we are West Ham's Claret and
West
Blue Army?
Ham's, surely, isn't it?
Yes. But basically, it started off life as Johnny Lyle's Claret
Claret
and
and Blue Army.
We then moved it on to Billy Bonds' Claret and Blue Army. I believe Harry.
I always did and his rather than. So Johnny Lyle and his Claret and Blue Army.
No,
just a
Johnny
syllable.
Lyle's Claret and Blue Army. Billy Bonds' Claret and Blue Army. Billy Bonds' Claret. No. I think Harry got a run out. And I think after Harry, it's sort of, that was it. Roden never got a run out. I don't even think Pardew got a run out. Zola definitely didn't.
Curbs didn't.
No. I don't think till
Everyone-
Bilic.
Big
it
Fat
made a
Sam
comeback.
is Clan Blue Army.
No,
Big Fat
that
Sam.
fucking
That did
didn't
happen.
run it.
That did.
Fucking did it.
Without
That
a
did
doubt.
happen. Big
Uh,
Fat Sam
Well,
is
on the Wembley, Blackpool,
Fuck off, did
Allah,
Anyway, yeah, that
Allah,
shit.
He
I
know
can't
you
wait.
Allah,
You get that in
Allah,
every fucking
Allah,
week.
Christ.
What a fucking broken record, you. Shut up.
You can't
Next
handle
up.
it, can you?
He gets a match ball.
Who?
Adam Levitt, he's got a third
Oh,
question.
piss off.
Well done. He says, do you know anything about season tickets next season? Will he be able to keep his season card next year? I think that's a question you should ask, Sean.
Why? I haven't got one. I'm sure it will.
No, will the club have acknowledged that digital season tickets hasn't really worked as well as it should have done, and will they offer from the start? There's a question there, Sean. Will they
I'll
offer
ask.
cards from
I've
the
got a
start of the
question.
season? Do I have to email David Sullivan again, or can I get one? Basically,
I will ask.
yeah.
I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
Are you article?
Right, you just broke up then. I didn't hear a word.
Yeah,
you
it's the article.
I don't know what
said. Yeah.
you're going to publish. Dodds' away day article because I see it in drafts on 6'2", but you haven't published it yet.
Have I not clicked publish?
No,
Right.
you missed it the last
Says,
times.
it says Sean Whetstone's taken over as currently editing. Your latest change was saved as a revision. So you've took over.
Is it an
Well,
exclusive?
I only looked at
Because
it. I didn't do anything else. I'm out of it again.
Oh.
Is it exclusive? Because Dodsley does shit for everyone, doesn't he? If you know what I mean.
He only does away day rambles though for Nigel.
Yeah. So
Well,
I
why
don't-
haven't I? Has he put a question? Why haven't I heard it tonight?
Oh, he might have a question. We're still going.
We're probably only about halfway through.
No.
I'm frightened.
next
I'm frightened I might fall asleep again.
Ed
That's all. I
Hughes.
might have missed it. Loves a bit of squirrel. See, I'm
He
not
does.
fucking on the ball, am I?
Yeah, no. He wouldn't swap with Spurs either. It says Moyes, at last he's figured out a way to start getting results and improving the football, so less worried about a departure. My concerns remains though, and I'm unconvinced by transfer business. I did it last
Gav,
week.
Good point. Good
Yeah.
point. That.
No, it ain't, because then this is the thing, yeah? Well, as I said, is a good a bad signing? No. Yeah? Areola, not a bad signing. Paquetá, not a bad signing.
Yeah, we can't wait a fucking year forever, like every
So,
season.
actually, the only bad signing, well, is Scamacca. And I don't even think he's a bad signing. It just ain't
No,
worked.
it's not. He just doesn't like
Yeah,
strikers.
Emerson's done okay. Cornet looks okay. Flynn Dans is a success. You know? So, it's not the transfer business. Madly, it's the two strikers. Funny enough, Ings as well. Neither of them. They're two totally different strikers, but don't play the way that he wants West Ham to play.
No.
He says he says he's unconvinced, but Paquetá bought an attacking midfielder, but he's doing well now. Kehrer, 50-50. Plays Germany's right back, plays with centre back. Germany do play him at centre back. He is both. Emerson, more comfortable as a wing back, but we've seen him in a flat back before. And he says Ings and Scamacca both look like need a strike partner. Wouldn't it have been good to have had Scamacca and Ings together?
Who knows?
Hmm.
Who knows what that would be like?
He says we need to ensure that we sign players and not square legs for round holes.
Right, square legs.
Captain Jack Morgan
Aye, Captain.
says, who from the current squad do you think would benefit from Moyes staying and why? And who would benefit from him leaving?
Souček will benefit from him staying.
Yeah.
Who would benefit from leaving? Fornals. Or many.
Who would benefit from him leaving? I think there's a few players that would possibly benefit.
Yeah.
Cornet.
No, I actually think Ings would benefit. Probably if Scamacca stays, he would benefit from Moyes
No,
leaving.
we haven't spoken about Scamacca.
No.
Back in
don't
Italy,
expect we'll
never
see
to
him play
return.
Yeah.
I don't expect to see him play for West Ham ever again, do you?
No,
Yeah.
agree.
Well, it's worrying when it's a full house, isn't it?
I
Especially when
think
Sean's one of them.
I think
Yeah.
Flynn Downs will do well with Moyes
Yeah,
staying.
well, I think he's ready for the first team now, you know.
Yeah, I do. I think I definitely.
Who's ready for the first team?
Flynn Downs.
Mate,
Yeah, I
he
do.
ain't
Yeah, I agree.
every game.
Christ,
he
we're
comes on.
agreeing. Stop it. Shut the front
Yeah.
door.
Souček with Downs, Paquetá for Rice, middle two done. Hello, gents, says Andy. Or wouldn't swap a dose of herpes for anything that lot in North London have got or I've ever had. Thank you. Would you had herpes, Sean? Would you swap it?
No.
That's really
No.
a question for Stell.
Oh,
Leave him alone.
Very,
He doesn't listen. I've got to have a laugh somewhere.
very pleased with the week we had. Ghent and Bournemouth performance were fabulous to watch and wondered if we do lift the Conference Cup. Could Deck stay out another year, as they sang on Sunday?
Stop
Brady out.
screaming. Brady
I
out.
don't know. Do you know, I live in hope. I am a dreamer.
You are a dreamer.
All right, my handsomes, how you doing? It's old Darcy, old Wurzel Gummidge himself from Taunton in Somerset. He said, I wouldn't swap Spurs place in a semi-final, not in a month of Sundays. I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't, would I, Jeffro? No, you wouldn't, Darcy. Thursday, unbelievable. Sunday, unbelievable. Paquetá gets better and better. Now, he says, oh, well, I upset a few people. Blowing Bubbles fanzine is trying to raise the atmosphere and create a singing
Oh,
section.
I saw this.
What
To
the
be
fuck?
fair, it wasn't them. It was only the article about
Yeah.
this is that's something that
The Supporters Trust,
that's it.
the people with 300 members are looking at.
No, it was from someone else because this is
Yeah.
what Paul said in the podcast. He mentioned these guys.
Yeah.
Something Alliance or something Zone.
I think they're called the Westfield Wanderers. They're like the Ashburton Army, and
Have they got
or
a drum?
wanna be. No, I don't know because apparently I upset them because I said they got to dress in black and bang a drum, and that's an atmosphere. And again, well, I ain't like that. You didn't read the article, said the bloke.
He's probably right, though. You probably
then
didn't. As soon as you read West Ham Supporters Trust, you switched off.
I switched
yeah?
it off.
I read the article and I don't really like reading this stuff because you are shutting the door after the horse is bolted.
Yes.
And you are making an assumption that the people that the management who, well,
Care.
everyone, all the directors, you're making an assumption that they want a good atmosphere. And really, I think personally, it was done deliberately.
No. Atmosphere has to be organic, in my view. You can't force it from.
But it was organic.
Fans.
The easiest way to make it organic would be to, rather than when we were moving stadiums, and I know we've taught this to death, rather than make everything different and say things like, "Oh, the entire stadium is a family-friendly family thing." Then you have a family bit, you have an old-style chicken run bit, and the easiest thing was to be renamed the chicken run, and then people knew what they want, and just have people in where they were. Oh.
I do think
And this is, I
lots
hate
of people,
this conversation now.
Len, I think a lot of people have rose-tinted glasses that when
No,
we're at
but
the
look,
when we're at the bowling ground or Upton
that
Park,
might be
that you could touch players and that the atmosphere was brilliant every single minute of every single game
No, I'm
for
not
the last
saying that.
100 years.
No, I'm not
No
saying
one says
that.
that, Sean. People like that ain't
People
what
do
people
tend to
say.
generalise. and a
No,
lot of
but
the
no.
people
What we
weren't
had
there.
was we had the 100 years of it getting it right. We wasn't arrogant enough to think, oh, just change it, and people are finding their own way. That
Sean,
wasn't
can
it.
you hear what the Bobby Moore lower sing?
No,
where
it's
you
just totally.
No.
And
The
this is
acoustics of the stadium down
this
there.
is
It's
yeah.
awful.
Yeah, and this is why I always get a little bit offended by it because people don't look at this like it was a professional job that had to be done in the first place. People think they can do it now, you know,
The sound
bringing
doesn't travel. I would agree that without a
what
doubt.
what we seem to doing is we're taking note of the Newcastle flag thing, but that is a supporter-led incentive, actually, and it's still St James's Park. So I'm afraid, as much as I want the atmosphere to be better, the only way to create it is on the pitch.
Yeah.
They
Back
did.
to the-
When I was on the supporters advisory board, actually, it was probably the official supporters board. There was this plan, actually led a little bit by Tara Warren, but also had some support with people like Jim Dolan and etc. to get this massive flag, the size of sort of the whole of the Billy Bond stand.
That's a massive flag.
It
Sean.
would have been a massive flag. It would have been one of
Where
the biggest.
would this flag? What would have been done with this flag?
Well, a bit like you see at some games, it would, be over people's heads at the beginning of the game, and it would fill the whole.
Obviously, we're not going to see any in the fucking
But
football.
do you imagine us organising that? It would have been awful. It just wouldn't work, would it? Try
Well,
and get the biggest flag.
I sent them that advert, Coca-Cola advert of the West Ham fans playing pool, and they're all doing this thing. And the geezer goes, "We're West Ham. We don't sing."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they didn't say. At the end of the day, I had a little bit of fun with them. I was a bit bored.
I'm surprised we even managed to. I mean, there were people around me, right? I ain't lifting up a bloody piece of paper. They can't tell me when to pick up a piece of paper.
Oh no, that's West Ham, isn't it?
That's West Ham. Can't tell me. If I want to lift up a piece of paper, I'll lift up a piece of paper. I'm not being told when to do
But
it.
it's contrived, isn't it? It's got to be natural. It's like you said, Sean.
Yeah.
I mean, that was really poor. I didn't even know it had happened. And I was in the ground.
It was a bit disorganised. I don't know if you've seen. I got a few pictures.
No. Doddsy does say, he says he's got a thing. Take the bloody wall down, which is true. Get rid of the wall.
This is it.
We didn't need a singing section against Arsenal and Ghent.
No, true.
Good point. Because it came on the pitch. It was organic.
It was organic.
As we're getting old, and you need to think about writing your will. What is the one thing you would leave for each of the podcast members in your will?
Do you know what? I've just done my will. By the way, freewills.co.uk. Really great place. Don't pay for a will. I've just redone, and so's Shireen done our wills, so we don't leave it to our ex-wives and husbands. But freewills.co.uk.
She did find you at freewilly.com, so...
I would probably leave you a little bit of memorabilia. Nigel?
Like a Pat Jennings autograph picture you got from me.
Yeah. But you know what? If you were really nice to me, because I know you would actually look after it,
The silver hammer.
The hammer, yeah. I've got the Thames Ironworks hammer that launched the the keel hammer that was used when the keel was founded for HMS Thunderer and awarded to
Mrs. Arnold Hills.
Mrs. Arnold Hills by the directors of Thames Ironworks.
Yeah. I feel like I can tell you more about that hammer than you can.
You probably can, actually.
Yeah.
You've never even seen it, though, have you?
No, I've not held it, no.
Yeah. Well, we'll work that out at some point. Maybe at the end of the season. It's not the kind of thing you take to a game, or even out in London, a hammer in your bag, Can have
maybe in Sadiq's London.
Yeah.
What would you like? What would you boys like? What could I leave you? Blimey, I've got so much tonight. I'd leave Len my Len can have my FA Cup.
Thank you.
Chinese knockoff.
Oh, mate, it's FA Cup.
What have you got that's original?
So I've got loads that's original.
Yeah, something really a bit of history.
Well, I've got the mural from the tunnel at Upton Park, complete mural. It's like 20 foot long, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've got
actually
a row of seats.
I know we can't say
4 seats.
I'd have some of your paperwork.
Oh,
the stuff I mean.
Yeah, I know the stuff I mean.
I'd have that, all right?
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, I've already left a lot of that to Len as well.
Oh, have you?
Well, he'd know what to do with it, wouldn't he?
No, he won't. He only paints. He can't read.
No, he'd make a film.
Oh. We're going to partnership then.
Okay.
What
I want to put in my will then is not to go into partnership with Sean.
Well, I'm a finisher completer.
You'd be dead, so I don't think it matters really. I'm
what are you going to leave
pointing
us,
out
Len?
the obvious.
Len, what are you going to leave us?
Right, what would I? Well, I'd leave Nigel all the paintings he hasn't bothered buying. So you can find.
I knew I'd get him in my way.
He held that and he won.
Yeah.
What would I give Sean? Oh, I'll give you my car. I have a real car, Sean.
Oh yeah, all right, yeah.
That'd be nice for you.
Nice for sort of track days, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. When I want
Right.
to burn like 40 gallons a mile or something.
Yeah, why not? It's half the fun.
Yeah. How much does is it? It's petrol, isn't it? Your car,
Yeah.
your
I
super
just
car.
scraped 20 miles a gallon.
Is it 20 miles a gallon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. No wonder you walked to the pub.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, dear, oh dear.
How many miles do you do a year in that? I bet you're gonna, because I know you don't go out very often. Go on, humour me. How many miles a year do you do in that?
I have done totally. I got the car in 2015.
Yeah.
2014, sorry. And it has 61,000 and it's now got 76,000, I think.
Fucking hell.
In 8 years.
Yeah.
Wow. That's seriously
Okay.
Yeah.
not a lot of mileage.
No, that car's actually gone up in value. Matthew Atry, though, wouldn't swap position. He says he's 43, and last trophy we won, excluding playoffs and into Toto, was when I was under a year old, and I'm desperate to win the European FA Vase. He says he is Moyes out. I think I've said it previously. He said, but things appear in large parts to have gone a bit stale. But I do think he's earned the right for people on social media to stop digging him out and give him till the end of the season without all the Moyes out stuff.
Moyes
Brady
out.
Brady on the other hand, fucker, Brady out.
Brady out.
Brady out. Super Chrissy Mills. He said, I'd take their league position in their conference run, as I don't like going by rules. I'm not a number and I'm a free man. There you go. That's why we like you, Chris. Conference Cup, Youth Cup winners and 15th will do me, though, and I'm not really a greedy man. Although I also wouldn't expect 2 wins in the next 3 days. Brady out, Kretinsky committed to massive stadium improvements, and Rice signs a contract till he's 30. But I'm buzzing for the club again. Don't take a lot. That can only mean one thing. A giant kick on the bollocks is incoming.
Yeah. Yep.
Is Len up for the semi-final? I've gone for my own seat for 35 quid instead of the 15. Sit where you like specials. Brady out.
Brady out.
Oh, there's a little scam, Len, we can let you into off air.
All right.
Natasha Weldon. Welcome, Natasha.
That name rings a bell.
Believe it's the first time to comment seen her name about a long time.
So
Good friends
Natasha
with Stevie
Weldon.
Bacon. No chance. Short, sharp, to the point. Bosh. In there. No chance. That's all she says.
All right.
Top fan, Ian Gravett. Evening, gents. He says, hope you're all well. No, another one he wouldn't swap. Wouldn't it be hilarious if we won the Europa Conference final and Spurs finished 7th, qualifying for the tournament, and we picked their European spot? Well, it ain't happening. What we really needed, actually,
I'd like Liverpool to get it. I really would.
what we needed was Brighton to actually win the FA Cup. Because if Brighton had finished 8th and won the FA Cup, and Spurs had finished 6th, and the Spurs would have gone to conference.
Did you watch that yesterday?
Not sure I need any help.
I watched the first half and it was too boring.
Yeah. It went to penalties, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. I watched the penalty shootout. We've created 8 goals in the past 2 games against the weak Ghent defence, and Bournemouth would give away goals like candy. But Liverpool's Liverpool, he says. He says
9 goals.
Yeah.
Didn't we?
8 goals in the past 2 games. Yeah.
5 and 4.
It was 4 and 4. Lost my look.
I thought we didn't we beat Ghent by 5.
No, 4. Last
I
one was
really don't remember that game at all.
He was gutted Maxi Cornet wasn't given his goal, but being that Ings is only free for us, he did seem weak when he came on against Ghent, losing the ball easily. And Moyes' interview after the Bournemouth game seemed forlorn. Perhaps he knows the writing on the wall. Well, there is no writing on the wall, though, Will this squad finish on a strong run? And more worryingly about the players, we're going to be losing in the summer. and more championship level players coming in. Brady and Sullivan out.
Brady
Last
Sullivan
one
out.
of the night.
Make it
Here
good.
are Sean.
Oh.
Colin Harvey. Hey up, gents. Nicholas Harvey, sorry. And I was thinking of another Yorkshireman then. They said, hard to believe we've watched 200 bloody games of Moyes ball. He said, and I still wouldn't bloody well swap our season for Spurs. He said, but I would have the bowl for their stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, when we could have done a grand share in 2011, nobody wanted to know people. Then we would have had their stadium. We could have done a deal with them. Half the seats in claret, the other half in blue.
Yeah, but that's still been Stratford.
Yeah, but it don't matter. But I 3/4 of Stratford support Arsenal now.
Yeah, it's true.
You know? Gent's job done relatively, shaky start, and Antonio finding form will be crucial for the remaining games. But once again, at Bournemouth, we won the ball higher up the pitch with higher intensity. We moved the ball quickly and showed what a big difference that makes. Got the old Kufal back. Bowen's looking far more effective and a great team performance. Right. Defiant Dave saying he's already planning for next season's effective minute. He can't turn us into a possession-based team. So if he stays, we need more players who seek the counter-attacking style. 1. Is it time to start believing we will see Rice lifting the European trophy on 7th of June?
Damn right. I'm sketching it out, baby.
Yes. Believe. What was that Elvis song?
Blue suede shoes,
No.
hound dog.
I Have a Dream in it or something like that.
Oh.
2. After the picture of the manure fan having his hair cut in the stand at Wembley during the FA Cup semi-final was the worst thing you've seen taking place in a football stadium during a game.
The Stratford inaugural game that wasn't against Juventus.
Didn't
Some
go.
guy got a salad out in a Tupperware on a fucking fork. It should have been like I'll never forget the guy, what it looked like and everything. And like it was only like 10 minutes from the end. That kind of set the tone for the place, really.
And
Well, it's a salad. It definitely weren't Sean. So,
No.
Sean, what's the worst thing you've seen?
what's that Kissimmee thing they used to do? Baccarat? That was pretty poor.
What,
Bring
the
back the
Baccarat?
Hammerettes. Where are the
Oh, right.
Hammerettes?
The Hammerettes, come on.
Why? Are we saying...
Albert Palace, why not?
Yeah, why can't we have Hammerettes anymore? Is the
Listen.
world moved on that it's too sexist now to have Hammerettes, a dancing troupe, dance at half time?
Well, that's what they're saying. That's not
No,
what I'm
that's
saying.
who's saying? Who says that?
Karen Brady, your mate, will
Yeah,
say it.
I know.
Well, there you go then.
Won't let the women play in the bloody stadium, now, will she?
Yeah.
That's another
Well,
story.
there's a rumour doing the rounds, Sean.
Go on.
If you like this, there is a rumour doing the rounds that West Ham are looking to sell off all the training grounds and move the women into Stratford and all the academy.
Where in Stratford?
Well, this is where I think the rumour falls down.
Yeah, I'm
But
sure.
I'll tell you where
Go on.
it is possible, and that's
Warm-up pitch?
Yes. the
No.
warm-up pitch. But
Not
what-
in a million, billion, trillion years.
Well, if West Ham took over running of the stadium, they'd
Yeah,
get
well,
control of the warm-up pitch as well.
Well, it's just got not enough infrastructure, changing rooms and everything else around there.
Well, no, but obviously with a bit of building work, it can have, Sean. There's still enough land there.
It ain't gonna happen.
Okay, well, anyway.
Who? Tell me who has
No, I'm not telling you. anyway.
their training ground next to
Leeds
the
United
stadium.
used to.
Ipswich Town.
Yeah.
Still do?
They're Ipswich.
Yeah.
I think they do. Man City do as well. Oh, do they Man City?
Yeah, Man City. Yeah,
Mm.
it's just across the road.
Let me tell you, just put this. Ain't gonna happen.
Any
Ain't
of us?
gonna happen.
What? Any of us are going to be happy that Dave's still there next season?
Do you know what? I don't want to be a flip flop fan, but
You're gonna be flip.
no, I'm not. I'm not. I do believe, right? No matter what's happened in the last few weeks, David's Moyes has taken us about as far as he can take us, right? However, I do agree with Nigel, and I hate doing this, that out of respect, if he wins the Europa Conference League,
Yeah.
he deserves to see out his contract.
Yeah.
And if he wins again the Europa League or gets really far in it, he might deserve a little bit longer. Because
All right. Do you know what? I agree, but do you know what that means?
what?
It means that as a club, we didn't change at all. The move wasn't worth it because we could have done all that up to
Hang on a
Park.
minute. You say that, but
Oh, I
it's-
don't mean it.
we've spent 3 years. That would
No,
mean
but
we've
we
spent
haven't
4
become a
years in
progressive
Europe.
club.
We've
No, but
spent
that's
4
got
years in
That's
Europe.
had nothing to do with the stadium.
We've been featured in Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have been featured in Ted Lasso.
It's had nothing to do with the stadium, has it?
Yes, it
We
has.
did-
We
No,
wouldn't
it
have been
ain't. We've
featured
done
in-
that at Upton Park.
No, we wouldn't have been in Upton Park under Ted Lasso. We're in Ted Lasso
Oh.
because of the stadium. Come on, wake up and smell the roses.
Even better. No, I don't give a shit about Ted Lasso. I've never even seen it.
Anyway,
Basically, we keep saying, "Oh, do you
some
know
of the
what?
things that the stadium brings us are not tangible.
No, it's just fucking money. That's all it brings us, Sean.
Well,
That's
money's
it.
the name. Money's the name of the game.
Well, it's been no point to it, has it?
Anyway, Nigel, try and bring us to a stop. Otherwise, we'll spend the next hour talking about the stadium again.
Well, yeah. Listen, if he's there next year, hopefully it means we've won the European trophy, and that's the way it is. Brady
Yeah,
out,
you
Sullivan
can't
out, Elliot
complain.
North out. Boys can stay for a bit.
Yeah.
Everyone
The
out.
last comment.
Go on.
Lens art fair. Just a few
That's
limited
me.
edition Love 4 Nails, not orange canvases remain, people.
I better just
So-
check there's still not some left.
Pop over to canningtownlen.com, look at his shop, and therefore you will see all the goodies there you can get.
Yeah, and the original painting is available as well, currently. Yeah, have a nice
I
little
love
look.
it. I was just been looking at Twitter. Honestly, on their official site, club update from Daniel
From Daniel.
Levy, of course. But it's just
Oh.
the formality of it. Club update from Daniel. Sunday's performance against Newcastle was wholly unacceptable, so I've sacked the fucker. It's great watching Spurs implode. Anyway,
Right,
Yeah.
that's your
that's
lot.
it.
All done and dusted.
I've been Sean. Nigel has been.
Preparing.
And Len has been.
Really tired.
Yeah, me too. And I've got 2 long nights. I've got to get to the Emirates tomorrow. God knows how I'm going to get there, and then Liverpool. So come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons.
Bobby Moore. More than just a podcast. Bobby Moore. More than just a podcast.
You know what?
I'm not fucking leaving.
3 fucking times you put this fucking shit on.
The show